So you don't need two of them. Instead, you combine them and you call it thou shalt not be dishonest. And suddenly, you're down to 5.
You can take an example from us. We are so honest, that's why we are saying that this is not the first time you are watching this video. If you don't like it, then you can say that.
You can say it, yeah.
Don't be ashamed. You are allowed to say that. Hello guys.
Hi everyone.
I am Waldemar.
And I'm Weronika.
And today, I will try to keep it short. Today we are watching George Carlin, The 10 Commandments. Mm-hmm. And it's another video of our new series of videos. That was George Carlin already. We already recorded Bill Burr. And this is again George Carlin. And those are the videos that we have both seen at some point in our life.
Yeah,
I mean,
usually Waldemar more intensely than me, because I would have seen him once or twice.
Yeah, I've seen
this one I've seen once or twice, but you've seen it
more than that. Yeah, but like I said in those videos, we are always trying to keep things honest and transparent on this channel, so we are always pointing out if this is the video that we have never seen, or if one of us have seen this video and other hasn't.
It's just when you stop to think about it too much. When you're not thinking about it, you're doing brilliantly.
Great. Right. So, like I said, we always try to keep things honest here. But we thought that because of that, there are many videos that are popular, in the reaction genre.
Yeah, and
that we don't
request
have
a lot for us to do as well.
Yeah, and we don't have them on the channel because we have seen them, and we were like, why we won't react to them if we have seen them. But we decided to watch them despite that, and we will just in the title explain that it's not our first time watching them, but nevertheless I thought what we have to say might be interesting.
It's worth it, yes.
Might be interesting to you, despite the fact that it's not our first time watching. And because of that, now we are watching The 10 Commandments, George Carlin.
Hey, you. Now, folks, here's something else I got a problem with. The 10 Commandments. Here's my problem. Why are there 10? You don't need 10. I think the list of commandments was deliberately and artificially inflated to get it up to 10. It's a padded list. Here's what they did. About 5,000 years ago, a bunch of religious and political hustlers got together to try to figure out how to control people, how to keep them in line. They knew people were basically stupid and would believe anything they were told, so they announced that God had given them some commandments. Up on a mountain, when no one was around, God had given them the 10 Commandments. But let me ask you this. When they were sitting around making this shit up, why did they pick 10? Why 10? Why not 9 or 11? I'll tell you why. Because 10 sounds official. 10 sounds important. They knew if it was 11, people wouldn't take it seriously. Say, what, are you kidding me? The 11 commandments? Get the fuck out of here. But 10 sounds important. 10 is the basis for the decimal system. It's a decade. It's a psychologically satisfying number. The top 10, the 10 most wanted, the 10 best dressed. So having 10 commandments was really a marketing decision. And
I would mention having 10 fingers. I think that's a big part of it too.
That is a big part of it, and the math system as well.
Yeah, he said decimal system.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
me, it's clearly a bullshit list. It's a political document artificially inflated to sell better. I'm going to show you how you could reduce the number of commandments and come up with a list that's a little more workable and logical. We're going to start with the first 3, and I'll use the Roman Catholic version because those are the ones I was taught as a little boy. I am the Lord thy...
I wonder, I never checked that. I will soon after the video.
The different versions?
The different versions.
I have no
because
idea what
we
the
are
difference is.
both technically Roman Catholics, right?
I am less than you.
You were baptized.
Yes, but I have less sacraments.
Yeah, but you were baptized.
I was
so
baptized,
you're Roman Catholic.
Yeah, so I've never seen. But they are essentially about the same thing, just different wording.
I don't know, but I guess. And I guess that there are 10 of them.
Thy God, thou shalt not have strange gods before me. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Thou shalt keep holy the Sabbath. Right off the bat, the first three, pure bullshit. Sabbath day, Lord's name, strange gods, spooky language. Spooky language. Designed to scare and control primitive people. In no way does superstitious nonsense like this apply to the lives of intelligent, civilized humans in the 21st century. You throw out the first three commandments, you're down to 7.
Yeah, but it is a spooky language. It sounds like the language from software games, you know? Like from Elden Ring. Oh, thy tarnished, thy shall not.
Yeah, but I think that language is stylized on the...
Yeah, but I don't know if it's stylized on the Bible.
Bible and the Old English.
Yeah, maybe the Old English.
Yeah, but indeed, yeah. Nowadays, it is quite strange that we also cannot maybe change it to something...
In Polish, they don't sound
Yes,
as
no,
weird.
in Polish they sound a little bit archaic, but not that bad.
Not as much. But in Polish, you can see more how the list is artificially inflated.
Yeah.
Because when you have a
It's
10,
split.
9 and 10th commandment, it's like split in half. It's
Yeah.
like how this
One is that...
do not desire your neighbor's wife, and the 10th one is
Or any other thing. That
or any other
him.
of his things. Yeah.
Yeah. So like...
Like, couldn't this be one commandment? You should. And every other one is like
A full sentence.
a full sentence, and it is about different subjects, like completely different subjects.
And this
like,
is just separates the wife for some strange reason. I mean, thanks for at least being a different line. Like, a thing special enough of a man that we get a separate line, but...
Next, honor thy father and mother. Obedience, respect for authority. Just another name for controlling people. The truth is, obedience and respect should not be automatic. They should be earned. They should be based on the parent's performance. Parent's performance. Right? Some parents deserve respect. Most of them don't. Period. You're down.
I feel like that was a vaguely controversial thing to say at the time as well.
about parents.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
or was
and
it not? Was it
and
was
I
it
think
already?
I like how deliberate it was. Like, he didn't say what you would think he would say. You would think he would say some of the parents deserve respect, some of them don't.
Yeah, this is
But
what
he
it
chose
was. Yeah.
to switch the words, and he said most of them don't.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really
It's
clever.
a nice touch, but
Down to 6. Now, in the interest of logic, something religion is very uncomfortable with, we're going to jump around the list a little bit. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness. Stealing and lying. Well, actually, these two both prohibit the same kind of behavior. Dishonesty, stealing, and lying. So you don't need two of them. Instead, you combine them and you call it thou shalt not be dishonest. And suddenly, you're down to 5.
you can take an example from us. We are so honest, that's why we are saying that this is not the first time we are watching this video, because we follow the commandments of George Carlin.
And as long as we're combining, I have 2 others that belong together. Thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Once again, these 2 prohibit the same kind of behavior, in this case, marital infidelity. The difference is coveting takes place in the mind, and I don't think you should outlaw fantasizing about someone else's wife. Otherwise, what's a guy going to think about when he's waxing his carrot? But marital fidelity is a good idea, so we're going to keep the idea and call this one, thou shalt not be unfaithful. And suddenly, we're down to 4. But when you think about it, honesty and fidelity are really part of the same overall value. So in truth, you could combine the 2 honesty commandments with the 2 fidelity commandments and give them simpler language, positive language instead of negative, and call the whole thing, thou shalt always be honest and faithful, and we're down to 3.
What is the most crazy for me in this clip is that he was the first person to come up with that. It's shocking to me. I mean,
Yeah, it seems like it should have been
we
there
have 10
before.
commandments since over 5,000 years. Yeah. Way older than Jesus himself, if he ever existed. And what, for 5,000 years there was no one, not writer, no philosopher, whoever was like, there's something off with those 10 commandments.
Yeah. And just to put it in a simpler way as well.
Yeah.
Even, you know what, a heresy or like a religious denomination, that you would have this like 3 leading sentences or like 1 leading sentence that this is how we're going to live and this is kind of all the commandments. Well, maybe there is something like that, but
I think it has to be, because it's just too unrealistic for me that George Carlin in the 90s was the first person who was like, what, 10? Wait a second. I mean, can we shorten this a bit?
I can't think. If you can think of something, then let us know in the comments. It would be interesting.
Yeah.
Like some philosophy or...
If you know someone who thought about this before George Carlin, then we would like to know.
Yeah.
Thou shalt, they're going away fast. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods. This one is just plain fucking stupid. Coveting your neighbor's goods is what keeps the economy going. Am I right? Your neighbor gets a vibrator that plays "Oh Come All Ye Faithful." You want to get one too. Coveting creates jobs. Leave it alone. You throw out coveting and you're down to 2 now, the big honesty and fidelity commandment, and the one we haven't talked about yet, thou shalt not kill, murder, the 5th commandment. But when you think about it, religion has never really had a big problem with murder. Not really. More people have been killed in the name of God than for any other reason. All you have to do... Sure. All you have to do is look at Northern Ireland, the Middle East, Kashmir, the Inquisition, the Crusades, and the World Trade Center to see how seriously the religious folks take thou shalt not kill. The more devout they are, the more they see murder as being negotiable. It's negotiable. You know? It depends. It depends on who's doing.
Yeah, like, it was always bugging me. The religious people, they think that this world is just a temporary one, you know. We spend a fraction of our time and the most of our life we will spend in the eternal kingdom of God. But for some reason they are the most obsessed about fixing this world here. You know, like if there are people who, like in the Middle Ages, who were heretics and, you know, they weren't following the teachings of the Christian Roman Church, then we need to kill them.
Yeah, and
because
also...
we cannot wait. I mean, God will judge them fairly, but we cannot wait that long.
We must judge them now.
Yeah, life expectancy back then was like, I don't know, 30 years. But we cannot wait these 8 years when they will die. We need to kill them now, and best way, burn them.
Yeah, especially since at the base of it, the Christian religion, they don't say that if you believe some other god, you will burn in hell. You are allowed to believe a different god, and as opposed to some other religions. I don't know how Islam is on this, but I think it's more strict. I think you still can believe other religions, but it's a bit more strict on that. So it's not like you have to kill them, and it's not, you know, you don't have to convince them. If you don't come there and introduce them to Jesus, then they have never known Jesus, and you don't expose them to the risk of, it's like kind of like Pascal wager, but
yeah, but
you know what I mean? They will never.
I think there is even a dogma in the Catholic Church that if they never knew the teaching of Christ, then they will be judged by their acts.
Which I find extremely interesting in the context of baptism and
children. Yeah, couldn't you just
could
you just not tell me about Jesus? My life would be much easier now. I would just be a great guy as I am now.
No, but what I meant was that if you don't baptize your child, then it goes to hell. But how did they learn about Jesus in the first place? How did they reject Jesus?
Maybe you can be white. I mean, it works.
If you're not white.
If you are not white. If you are white, then you need to do it.
And the killing and who's getting killed. So, with all of this in mind, I leave you with my revised list of the 2 commandments. Thou shalt always be honest and faithful to the provider of thy nookie. And thou shalt try real hard not to kill anyone, unless, of course, they pray to a different invisible man from the one you pray to. 2 is all you need. Moses could have carried him down the hill in his fucking pocket. And if they had a list like that, I wouldn't mind those folks in Alabama putting it up on the courthouse wall. As long as they included one additional commandment, thou shalt keep thy religion to thyself. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
I know, Sweden to the point. He's really good at it.
Wouldn't it be, like, I would find it warm, like, if you would have commandments like that as a, maybe not a species because it's not possible, but like a part of our religion would be, you should be always honest and faithful.
Yeah, it's much better. Well, if it was being curated nowadays that we know about positive language, I'm sure that's what they would do. But I don't think these like personality coaches were around at that time, so there was no one to tell them that it would be better to not use negative language.
Yeah, and also I always find the problem with the how do you say this? Fuck. Like what was first and what was the second?
Oh yeah, with the hierarchy.
With the hierarchy?
Yeah, I like the order, just the
order. Order. Yeah, like first was about God because
first three,
because why not start with himself. The fourth one is about going to church every Sunday or every Saturday, depends on your religion.
The third one is. The fourth one is about parents.
Sorry. Yeah, the fourth one is about parents, and the killing is faith. Yeah. Like it is important, but not as important as remembering about Mother's Day.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
What if your mother believes in a different God?
Huh?
What if your mother believes in a different God than you? Do you need to respect her or can you kill her? Something food for thought, I don't know. But yeah, all you can really see in the stand-ups, and especially when you watch them not for the first time, you can really appreciate how well they are prepared and crafted.
Yeah.
It's really pleasant to
I mean, it's. I said it many times before, and I will say it again, that George Carlin was not really a stand-upper or a stand-up comedian, because, and there's nothing wrong with that. How do I say this? Yeah. What he did was so different than what Bill Burr does, what Jim Jeffries does, what Dave Chappelle does. Name them. And
he was more like a theater actor, but he was funny.
And you really should have a different name for all that. Yeah. I don't know what the name should be, but it's too different. I mean, he was funny, but being funny was his like third or fourth priority.
Yeah, I think people went to his show to laugh, but more to listen to him and what he had to say, and not like, oh, I'm gonna leave and my stomach will hurt so much because I laughed so much. He is very funny, but I don't think that's why you would go.
Yeah.
If you weren't open to think about what he said, then you wouldn't have bought the ticket. Yeah. Whereas you can, of course, Bill Burr and Jim Jeffries, they also speak about important things sometimes.
Of course.
But you don't always go to their shows because you want to think about something or because you agree with what they say. I watch Bill Burr and I don't agree with everything that he says, like his ideologies. I still find him funny. But if I didn't agree with George Carlin, I don't think I could watch him. Because for what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with George Carlin about everything.
No, of course not. But you mean with the general ideas that he has?
Yeah. Like I said, I think his first priority when he was writing his material was that it's just an interesting and smart thing to say. Yeah. Like making good points. I think the second one was to stir the shit a little bit.
Yeah, and the third one to make it funny.
And the third one was making it funny. I would even say that maybe the third one was the rhythm, because you can notice when George Carlin has his segments of comedy, there is this rhythm of words. I think I never did it, but I think if you would count it, then I think...
Yeah, it's the rhythm and it's also the sound of the words.
He really counted how many syllables there are in the words.
I think it's kind of like when you are an author, you don't really have to count it, just hear it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there was a case like that when he was writing his screenplays. because you can tell that he has this all in memory.
Yeah, it's like it's edited on the level of the prose of what he's going to then say as well. It's not like he just makes pointers for himself. I'll talk about this and this, and then I'll make this joke. It's definitely every single word that he says is important, and it's a really nice skill that he makes it come across natural. Anyway,
notice when people are uploading, he always goes back like a sentence or two.
Yeah.
And he starts over. He never lets the audience disrupt him. He will
because
always start over because
yeah.
he needs the structure of words. He needs this rhythm. He needs to maintain this rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we'll ever have another one like him. I would want.
We'll see.
But
it's not. It's also not the direction that the comedy is going in right now. Sure, we have different directions, and it's good to stand out. But I don't know how well you would do. Now, if you started with comedy of this kind.
Yeah, I think not everyone could do it also. I think it helped him having this look of an old guy almost all his life.
That's an excellent point, because I think he also looks like he could speak like this. Like, I buy it, that he speaks like this, And when he opens his mouth, like, when you think about it, of course you crafted it.
It's not just a persona, this grumpy old person that he created. It could just as well be not a persona, just his character.
Yeah, and then even if it was just a persona, then part of being this persona is speaking in this way. So it doesn't feel like he's reading a script, because this is just how elaborate this person talks.
Yeah, and like I said, it helped him that he was doing those specials for 20, 30 years. I mean, more, but I mean, from the time he did the 7 words you cannot say on a TV set. Because before that, he did more normal comedy. After that, he went to this kind of political correctness comedy, like the ones that we watched. And since the 90s, he looked like a grandpa, and until his death, he looked also the same. So it helped him, because you have this feeling that, it's an older guy, so he has some experience, he's seen some stuff.
Yeah.
That explains his grumpiness. Alright, thank you guys for watching with us.
Thank you very much.
I hope you enjoyed it, and let us know what you think about us watching those videos again.
Yep.
If you don't like it, then you can say that.
You can say it, yeah.
Don't be ashamed, you are allowed to say that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.